Alright everybody, welcome back. If you didn't see my last video, I definitely check that out. I'll leave it in the comments section. But I dry aged a whole prime rib and cooked it up in the States. Today we're going to be cooking some elk, or grinding it into burger, and then cooking some sausage, burger, and then I'm gonna make a steak out of some of it. So let's get started. Alright, so what I like to do with this is I like to separate the fibers from the meat. I'm going to be using calf and a bit of round. And I'll be separating muscles away from each other. But you can see why I'm using calf to make burger out of. It's because it's all that silver skin. And it would make it really, really tough. Actually, can see how big the fibers are right there. Really, really thick. And just not very tasty unless ground. So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna be using this with a little bit of beef fat because elk is very dry due to the fact that they are very active animals. They have almost no marbling and they're very, very lean meat. So if you were just to cook or grind this, into just plain hamburger, like how I am, without adding any beef fat, it'd be a very dry result. So that's why I'm gonna grind it with beef fat. All right. Let's move on to grinding, or actually, I'll get this tendon out and I'll show you how I do that. I use a fillet knife and I'll pick up right here by the tendon with my fingers and I'll pull. Usually you can separate it with your hands. Sometimes it helps though to get a good start off with your knife. And there, that stuff. You don't want to eat this. This is like pure silver skin, about 90%. So this we will not add to our grinding. But this we will, because it's a little thicker. All right, I'm gonna finish trimming these and then we can move on to grinding. All right, now that we're ready to grind, we're gonna take some beef fat, a good amount of it too. I'm gonna wanna take about this much for this meat. So now, just gonna flip it on low. And we'll do a little faster actually. And we'll add our beef in through the top. Press it in all the way through so you start to see the red strings of the strands of the meat. Now we'll add our fat.
You couldn't hear me right here, but basically what I was saying is you can use something to help press the meat through.
Stuff like the back of the spoon or spatula. So that's what I'm gonna do because it got stuck. Just gonna push it through. All right, now that we've run it through the grinder once, we're gonna run it again to help it get mixed better, and they call that fine grind. I'm actually gonna use a little bit more beef fat too. So here we go.
You turn that on.
You don't get to.
Yes, I do.
Stop.
Get it off. Come here. Come look how much money we have.
So I'm actually split both my groundings into two. So we have this mix, which I'm going to turn into sausage, and I use the One for All seasoning, the barbecue and sausage mix. It makes a really nice sausage. So I'm just going to add a good amount of that. You really want it flavorful. And now you can stir with this, with a little spatula or a wooden spoon. Or my favorite is to knead it with your hands, but I'm not doing that today. I'm gonna mix it like this instead. We got a basic mix. We're gonna add a little bit more seasoning. Just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna go in with my hands and kind of fold it all in. And yes, I washed my hands. Kind of like you're kneading dough, you want to get it nice and mixed. There, our sausage mix is now done. Put that to the side. I'm going to show you how to turn it into sausage rolls later. Now we're going to do hamburger. All right, now we're going to do the hamburger. I use Rita seasoning because that's what the majority of my family likes. But you can just use whatever basic seasonings you want, like salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Some people will just mold them into patties before and then season them after. I kind of like my flavors spread a little more throughout, so honestly, I like to mix it. So I'm just going to add some Rita. And then keep mixing that. We're just gonna add a light amount because you're gonna season them while you're cooking them, just on the outside. There, now we have our hamburger and our sausage. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is show you how I like to store my hamburger patties. So I'll take some freezer paper or wax paper. What I'll do is I'll cut out a little square, big enough to fit your patties. Yep, just about like that. And with the wax side up, you're gonna take a bit of your burger, just right here, and take some, make a ball, and form your patty. I may have actually cut this square a little too small. And we're gonna set it on, just like that. And then you do the next process for another hamburger patty, or the same process for another hamburger patty, and place that on top. Then form your patty, place that on top, and then you can stack them like a tower. Just how I like to store my hamburgers. And you can freeze them like this. And it only takes about 1 sheet of freezer paper to do these all. Once you've reached a good height, you can take a Ziploc bag, open them up, actually, I forgot one. Add a little more freezer paper. To the top, you can do wax side down or paper side down. I'm gonna do wax side so this one peels off easier. And you can take it, stick it in your Ziploc bag like that into the corner, and you can fit about 4 more. That's how I store my hamburgers. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I package sausage without any special equipment here at my house. The only thing you're gonna need is film roll from Members Mark or Sam's Club pretty much, or they call it saran wrap. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a ball of your sausage mix. You're gonna plop it down into the center. You can take a knife, which is what I have, or scissors. Cut it. You're just gonna fold it up. Fold the sides up. And then keep the ends like this. And then what you're gonna do is like you're gonna spin it with your hands. Spin it quick, 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 quick. Oop, I needed to make it more of a link. Anyway, basically that's gonna do, it's gonna help you form it about airtight. Because it's saran wrap, I mean, we all know how airtight saran wrap gets. And then you can freeze it like this. You can take these ends, and you can do a simple knot with them. Like that. And you got a little ball sausage. But I'll show you, if you don't want it in a ball like that, take some more saran wrap, and you cut it off. You get sausage mix, and then you roll it out more and kind of dot it a bit like that. Dot it along in a line. Basically, you're gonna do the same thing, except for what's gonna happen this time, it's gonna be a little longer, like a sausage link. As you can see, that's how you make a sausage link. So that's how I package my sausage. I like mine a little thicker than a link, and I usually add a lot more mix than what I used in there to show you. Like I'll add probably all this to make an extra roll. And then this is how you can do it in bulk, or how I do it in bulk, and it's really simple and easy to do at home. And now you have sausage. All right, as you just saw, I just showed you how I like to make my sausage and hamburger, and you know, you can't do anything without a nice steak. So this is an elk loin, it's part of the elk loin. Now you may be thinking, why does it look like a skirt steak? Well, I can assure you, it isn't. We butchered it ourselves after we shot it. Uh-oh, baby bee. All right, and you know you can't go wrong with a little bit Osmo roasted garlic salt. I definitely recommend trying them out, and I'm not biased. They are really, really, really good salts. So many flavors. One thing I've realized about this roasted garlic salt So after you have it for a while, it all sticks together. So it's kind of hard to get it apart. So that's one negative I would say about it. But other than that, Osmo really is a nice brand. It's my favorite, at least. And do not season lightly. Want a nice layer seasoning all around. Struggling a bit to get this all out. I got this for Christmas, so you can imagine it's been sitting there for quite a little while. Next, we're gonna go with some black pepper. Now garlic powder. And remember, don't be light with your seasoning. You always want a good layer on top of it. And next we're gonna do a little kick, some smoked paprika. Now flip it over and repeat the process.